piano. It must say my show.
Almost $300 million.
So the show has come to stay. Mumbi na yesu. Na yentitire bo man. Na wonso oni nipa.
E daddy e Ghana for dia. Enye BP dia. Enye NDC dia. Enye obi bia dia.
President Kufano. Because what to near mom. I'm affecting all this. Full prices now what they buy.
Yeah, I just NDC for car for Ghana card for Jim Dining the drama nasa.
Mene wo ka say ya ye ye no nya se ya te de so e kina titi pa se kina NDC for wo ba ko fa da bi wo me kai me na me ka draw
mo pese mo hwe so a mo ko Facebook na Instagram ni YouTube ni Twitch and News TV Anchor FM
Yechia Ghana Funeral. My show is your show because a Ghana enti and a show that will be my show. The dog will be asking.
Hello, welcome to tonight's edition of my show and NDC Hour of Today Ghana News TV. We are broadcasting live on Twitch via satellites, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and also on Today Ghana TV. You can also follow us via Twitter and TikTok, and also podcast on Anchor FM and Sakina Information Center in Tatali, northern region. We are very, very excited to come your way. As always, my name is Caroline Osei, your host, and I'm particularly excited tonight because of the topic we have chosen for tonight's program. We are delving into the NDC. Yeah, we are preparing for our Victory 2024. And tonight we're going to look at the flag bearership campaigns and how it is galvanizing the base for people who have not decided for which party they want to vote for and to come, and so that we can rescue Ghana. And we will take the contenders one by one. We want to take Dr. Dufour first. And before I take the contenders and introduce them to you, I want to introduce my resource persons to you, very special people in the NDC. We have tonight Mr. Aqua. He's normally called Chairman Aqua. Chairman Aqua. And then we have our own North Carolina chairman, who has been the communication officer for the USA. He's even vied for to be a PC before. And for us, we are so excited to have you on the show. We believe that by the end of the show, we would have enjoyed ourselves and will be well informed as well. So welcome, gentlemen. Dr. Dufour, we want to take the three contenders. We are going to vote for our flag bearer for 2024, and the direction is Victory 2024, NDC all the way. Ghana is right now we don't know our states, and at this moment everybody will agree. It takes somebody who is really not objective to say that NDC is not the viable alternative. Everybody is calling for the NDC. And so we need somebody who will lead us to real victory. And then when we are winning big time. We're not winning and we're not going into play. And so we've got three great gentlemen. These are very powerful, very educated, they are successful in their various fields. And Mr. Kwamna Dufour, for instance, was a governor of Ghana, Bank of Ghana, and he was also a finance minister. He the CEO of the Unibank, which was collapsed by the NPP government, and he's a very successful businessman. He's showed himself capable, and he's a leading member of the NDC. He wants to contend. He wants to also contest to be a flag bearer. And for the NDC, I believe everybody knows that it's a democratic party, and everybody, even though sometimes we all believe that we need somebody we've known before, everybody has the opportunity to contest. And if the base says that we want you, we vote for the person, we rally behind the person, and the person will come and stand to win the election 2024 for us. We also have our own President Mahama. He doesn't need introduction. For him, I believe that everybody knows he's been an MP, he's been a minister, he's been a deputy minister, vice president, and a president as well. So many people will ask, you've had it all. What again? But, we always give everybody the opportunity to also stand. And JM is a fantastic man. He's done it before. And so most people are rallying behind him. We also have one of our fine gentlemen called Mr. Kojo Bonsu. He is also very nice. He was the chief executive officer, the mayor of KMA during ex-president Mahama's time. He owned businesses. He's a successful businessman. He was into football, and he's also a leading member of the NDC. He wants to be a flag bearer and eventually become a president. So the first question I'll ask is, Mr. Chairman Aqua, looking at these three contenders, what's your take on these fine gentlemen who are putting up, they want to be flag bearer, and then what's their campaign? What do you think? What's your take on these gentlemen?
Yeah, thank you so much, host. And I would like to greet my other comrade who is at the other side. And I would like to say hello to the listeners, those who are watching this the program. Thanks for giving us opportunity to come and share our ideas concerning NDC and the primaries going on. Like you said, Carol, all the three that you've mentioned, they are all equally qualified, like you said.
Yeah.
Now, but for the party's sake, per the constitution, when time comes for us to elect our flag bearer, everybody is given the opportunity to contest.
Yeah.
For now, these three gentlemen, they are all equally qualified. However, some of us would have wished that whatever arrangement like we have, we will put our weight behind JDM. But because it is a democratic institution, the party allows everybody to contest. So technically, yes, they are all going around to galvanize the base. Like you said it right. This party, we need to galvanize the base seriously, because the 2024 election, we don't want to repeat the mistakes we made in 2020. So whatever it takes for these three contenders to go onto the field and make sure that the branches are solid in terms of the election, we have to do that. Because JDM has mentioned and he has said that this election, it is do or die. And that we are going to make sure that no stone is going to be left unturned. The reason being that, sweetheart, NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo, they are not prepared to hand over power. We've listened to some of the ministers on platform and what they've said. So as NDC, what we would like to urge other colleagues who are, contesting this position with JDM is that, please, we want to plead with them. They should make sure that all the message that we put out there, we put a message of unity, so that at the end of the election, we have one party and one force to fight. Our only opponent that we have is NPP, and we have to make sure that we go and tackle NPP without any division whatsoever. So I would like to plead to these three contenders who are, with JDM, like you said, at least he has been marketed already. But the other two contenders who are also equally qualified technocrats, that they think they have the opportunity to contest, we wish them well. But at the end of the day, when the election is done and dusted on the 13th of May, whoever the party elects, I will urge these two contenders that they should put their weight behind JDM, and let's show the unity that we are ready to take power. Because 2024, sweetheart, we have a challenge on our hands. Those we are going to go into election with, they have financial resources behind them. So as a political party, NDC, we need to go to the grassroots. We need to make sure that the door-to-door principles that we want to introduce in 2024, behind whoever wins, we galvanize the base. We make sure that the numbers that comes to us, we get the numbers that we will make any going to court irrelevant. I have more to say in terms of some few areas when it comes to the numbers, in the regional numbers, when it comes to those areas. Yes, I think I'll come in with more of some information. But for now, as an introduction, I would like to plead to the three. As for JDM, like you said, somebody said, that's good. But with other colleagues who are also trying to make sure that they also contest JDM, we wish them well. But however, we want the unity in the party. So I'll stop here for now. Then when you come back again, whatever I have in terms of the ground, the numbers, the statistics that we have in 2020, we'll bring it on board. So I'll stop here for now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. You know, I really agree with what you just said, but you see, as a democratic party, just as you mentioned, everybody is given the opportunity to vie for the highest office in their party. And so the most important thing is unity at the end of the day. So I just asked Mr. Mote, you know, all these three contenders are going around Ghana and they are looking for speaking to the delegates to vote for them. In your estimation, I mean, so far, do you think this campaign is bringing people who don't know where to vote, you know, the people who are confused, you know, so many people are saying the NDC and the MPP, they are the same. It's like MPP and NDC. But I don't agree. I don't believe that the even identical twins are not the same. You know, people say such things when they were hoping for better things in their leaders, the people they had chosen for us to govern the country, and they didn't, the expectations were not met. But you think in all this, the campaigns, do you think people are coming on board? The NDC is looking attractive. I mean, what do you think?
Yes, thank you, Caroline, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. And let me say hello to my colleague, comrade, who have just started this with us. And greetings to those who are viewing us and listening to us across the world. And it's very interesting. And the NDC have never lacked candidates. And indeed, like you said it earlier on, the NDC and the MPP are nothing the same. The NDC have built several universities. The MPP have not even built one. The NDC have built several hospitals. The MPP have not even built one. Let's not even go there. The MPP knows how to destroy and rename. The NDC knows how to build. Nana Akufo-Addo came, destroyed the large general hospital. I saw Ghanaians demonstrate yesterday. He came and destroyed judges' buildings that was put up by JM in the name of building a cathedral. It is just a pit hole that is there. That is what an MPP knows how to do. Jerry Rawlings built the Thomas Sankara interchange. Kufuor came and renamed it Akwaje interchange. The Jawolo Road was done by Jerry Rawlings. Kufuor came and renamed it Obasanjo Road. We know the MPP. Kufuor came and renamed Accra Sports Stadium to Hinijan, whatever it is. Like, that is what MPP knows how to do. Renaming the Flagstaff House to Jubilee House. That is what MPP knows how to do. Rename or destroy. Then NDC builds, and that is clear, and that is fact. So that is, let's put that to the side. The candidates that we have now, amazing candidates by all standards. Dr. Kwabena Dufour, banker, he started his work from Ghana Commercial Bank, rose all the way to become the head of economics, and worked his way to Bank of Ghana, where, of course, he started several companies, like you mentioned already. At the same time, he was also a lecturer in the business department in Legon. An amazing, amazing, amazing guy by all standards.
Yeah, he also became one of the 4 best governors in the world in 1999.
Indeed,
I mean,
indeed.
Amazing man.
Indeed, and so he has seen it all, have led Ghana through really, really, really challenging and transformational times and periods. And so we have seen the work that he have done. And then when it comes to Kojo Bonsu, again, that, just like you said, needs completely no introduction, but he has done so much in our sports. I remember in 2003, where he launched his campaign to become the GFE president and was beaten by Nyantechi in 2005. His work with RTU, the Royal Tamale United, we've seen it. His work with Kotoko. We've seen amazing work that he has done. And of course, he was a board member of GOIL. Many people who did not know that, became a KMA boss, the owner of a Go magazine. Great guy, very good friend of mine. Last time we met in Ghana, we were in Jolo together. Let me not mention. We met twice in Jolo, Jesus Christ. So very good friend of mine, an amazing guy. And of course, come to the Bole Bamboy boy. The amazing Bolly Bamboy King Kong. You know, the GM, an amazing guy. You know, he has been an assemblyman, he has been a deputy minister, vice president, you know, and if you are not selfless, you don't want to do this anymore. Because after all, what? You are earning good retirement package. Why bother your head? But there is so much work to be done. And so he also put himself into the race, and great communicator. I've seen many of these people go around the country, go constituency by constituency, and these people are taking the party people very seriously. You know, Anybody could have just said, let me just sit in Accra and release statements, and the people can vote for me.
Yes.
Who doesn't know John Mahama? Who doesn't know Comrade Dufour? Of course, he was a CPP member before, and then came to join the NDC, and we are excited to have him. Yeah. We all know these people, so why bother going around? But again, the party need oiling, and so going around and reawakening and kindling the membership of the NDC is important to the party. If GM was going alone and we are just going to re-endorse, then it can be one of those things that fatigue will be there, he will be listless, he doesn't want to go around. After all, the endorsement will be done. But this is good for our party, this is good for our democracy. But indeed, there is a reason why many people who have contested against GM in the past are not contesting again this time around. Almost every time, consistently, everybody who contests him are pretty new people. And so there is a reason why. And I wish everybody well. But this is good for the NDC. This is good for the party. Let me say quickly that unfortunately, there are some Ghanaians, and especially journalists, I've seen some childish talks from some few people who say that JM is joking, and JM takes the people of Ghana seriously.
It's quite sad.
JM is speaking currently to the people of the NDC. Especially for members who are not NDC members, you will not understand yet. When JM finishes his work with the people of the NDC, and he needs to take his message to the people of Ghana, he will speak to the people of Ghana. When I'm in my family home, the way I speak to my family is different from the way I speak when I'm outside my family. You don't expect me to stand in front of my mom and speak the way I would speak in town. And so this is a family affair. The only thing is that because you are interested, so the media publishes what JM is discussing in the home of NDC. Now, you seeing that does not give you any right to denigrate his message to the people of the NDC. That he is not serious. Far from it. Come on.
I just want to say something. You know, when you hear people speak like that, then you can quickly understand that these people are panicking. You know, they are looking for ways to discourage somebody who is, on their way to becoming the next president. There's no two ways about that. So they have to marshal all forces and look for things to say. So to smear the person. But then you can tell that JDM is focused. You know, it's just focused.
The NDC is going through the process to primaries. The MPP is going through a process to primaries. The few we have heard from the MPP people who are running in their primaries, they've not said anything. Indeed, one of them was interviewed on Joy FM and said, "Why do you want to be the president of Ghana?" And the whole Agric minister opened his mouth and said, "I want to be the president of Ghana so that I can be flag bearer of the MPP."
Can you imagine?
And some of these same journalists are not saying anything about that.
Not at all.
So again, let's be clear. Bawumia can barely speak to the people of the MPP. We heard what Alan Chemante said. Alan Chemante said, Nana Akufo-Addo has made Ghana so difficult that even he cannot even speak to the people of the MPP.
He doesn't have a message.
He doesn't have a message. So then you are not comparing that to JM's message. Then you are talking about JM not being serious. Are you serious? Like, somebody said to me that, NDC need to talk about this. The NDC need to talk about this. My question to the people of Ghana is, does the NDC really need to talk? Like,
exactly.
That's you can't hear.
Exactly. That brings me to it's one of my questions. Everybody is, you hear most people who are disgruntled, they are disappointed in the government, but deep down, they'll never want the MPP to lose power. Deep down, if they had their own way, they'll never want the MPP to lose power. And because of that, they bring all their frustrations on the NDC. What I've also realized is that, anything that goes wrong, whether NDC is in power, NDC is being blamed. Whether NDC is in opposition, NDC is being blamed. So you never know what they really want from NDC. Because one, the opportunity is given to you, and then they are giving you all that you want. You are not happy, you are not satisfied. Your own comes in, you are frustrated. You put all your frustration on the people who are giving you everything, the government that's giving you everything that, you really need. So, those people, just as you're saying, what would you say to the NDC base? Because it gradually is trickling into the NDC. and you realize that the NDC is saying, oh, NDC, they are not serious. And it is an agenda. It is an agenda. And if the NDC doesn't take it, you realize that it will go into the heads of the NDC and then the floating voters before you realize, So the NDC, what are you doing about that? How would you, counter such accusations? And then,
just like I said earlier, the NDC has been the only political party in Ghana that has clearly stated time and again, our manifesto has clear directions as to how it will be achieved. Unlike the MPP, where, for example, Nana Dodan Kwakufado was preaching about free education, and then he appeared on the BBC, and then he was asked, Nana, how are you going to make this happen in Ghana? And he could not answer. The NDC has always been consistent. The NPP cannot point to anything. If you come to Accra, from the National Theatre, built on Nigerian Rollins, to the Independence Square, to everything in Accra was done by the NDC. John Mahama built the Nungwa Water, then Dasuma Road, the Nungwa Road, like every little thing, to the Dodowa Hospital, the Legon Hospital. We cannot stop, but the NPP cannot show anything. And indeed, because you cannot show anything, the quick thing is that, and they're all politicians, they are all the same. No. The only thing that is the same is the fact that you are so angry with yourself that because you don't want to accept the truth that the MPP has been a failure. And because you don't want to come to that fact that the MPP is a total failure, you want to equalize it. And by the way, it used to be that the NDC and NDP are not equal at all.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, that the MPP have been so abysmal. Then it is like, politics were there. No.
Each party has its strengths and weakness.
Indeed.
That cannot be taken. It's a human institution. The NDC has its weakness. It's his weakness. So, but you have to weigh the weakness vis-a-vis, the strengths of the and what the NDC as a political party has been able to offer the Ghanaian people. I'll come back to you quickly. I have a follow-up question on this, on what they are saying about the NDC and the MPP being the same and what they haven't done and that. But I'll quickly go to Chairman Aqua and ask him, Chairman Aqua, the MPP talks about policies. They always mention policies. And one of the things over the years, this particular question, they keep asking, what policy has the NDC been able to bring? I would say sustainable policies, because yes, I would say that the MPP has brought some policies. I can recall two main ones. Other ones were signed off, like when the single spine was signed when President Kufuor was just leaving. He brought it back, he just signed because he wasn't ready to implement it, And then the national health insurance that they speak so highly about, and yet when NDC comes into power, makes it good, better, and they are in power now. And there is a graph, when you look from 2012 up until now, you have a chart that shows and indicates how much has been allocated to the NHIS, and you can see the continuous drop of this. What's your take on people telling you, what are your policies? Have you ever brought any policies? What do you have to say to such people?
Yes, those people who are saying this, they don't know exactly what they are talking about. Let me take you to the area of even the health policies. If you want to deal with health policies, one of the key areas that you need to look at is the infrastructure. The issue of the infrastructure alone, what you put in place in terms of accessibility and making sure that people has an access to it, it's on its own a policy in place. Because then when the infrastructure is available, then yes, that individual can access the hospital. John Dramani Mahama, when he was in power, he built a whole lot of hospital infrastructure across the country. That is part of the policies that we need to expand the base. Now, let me also add something to the situation before even I bring on the policies. There is something we need to, I want to add to what our brother Morte just said. I'll come to the policy side. Please give me 1 second here. You see, what is happening there is that for now, currently, we are doing an internal arrangement concerning our primaries. So as a party, what the media guys are doing, John Dramani Mama or the others are not perturbed. We need to remain focused and make sure that the base is well governed. Because, you see, the election that is at play now, there are 2 or 3 key regions. That is where the winnable election is going to come. Ashanti region, Eastern region, and Greater Accra. So we would like to urge these, our 3 comrades who are going around to wanting to become the flag bearer. Look, we want them to do a clean campaign. Now, when we finish and everything is ready, whoever we elect as flag bearer, Carol, there are some 2 key areas I will plead with them. Ashanti region and Eastern region. Those areas are the areas that we need to make sure that our branches are well governed. Because if you don't make sure that the numbers that NPP always used to win election within Kumasi and Eastern region, we need to reduce that numbers. If you are able to reduce that numbers, then we can say that, look, now we have the opportunity to make sure that this election will be clean. Let's make sure. I would like to urge JDM, Kojo Bonsu, and Kobna Dufo that we want to plead with them. These 3 regions, they should make sure they touch base seriously, so that when we've finished, we make sure that we win without going to the courts. It's very important. Now, let me come back to the area of the policies. See that, New Patriotic Party, if you talk of policies, what sort of policies have they put in place which is working? Is it the free SHS?
Yeah.
Free SHS that don't have even policy documents. Carol, let me tell you this. Free SHS that these people introduce, that policy is collapsing gradually. Do you know why? Because Nana Akufo-Addo went somewhere to say that I'm bringing free SHS is good. Nobody won't sit somewhere and say we don't like it. But the point is, where is the policy document for that system? We don't have it. So now what will happen is that we are producing the children, they finish secondary school, they don't know where they are going.
Yeah, and I'm aware that we don't even have textbooks. We don't have.
No, you see, when you are doing
kids, gradually the educational system is deteriorating in Ghana.
It is collapsing.
It's so sad.
You see, when you come to Europe is practicing free SHS. But within the free SHS system they are practicing, it's a community day-based system. The students are not in the boarding house. So that within the community, you can get more people going in and going home. But in a situation where you are bringing free SHS without well-planned documentation, you are adding boarding system to free SHS without proper costing, you are going to have the problems. So you see, John Dramani Mama said, when he comes, he's going to make sure he review that system. Carol, let me say something here. 2020, if you have a look at jobs and prosperity for all, the policy document that John Dramani Mama was bringing in play for Ghanaians, you will see the sort of policies arrangement in there. It was huge. Now, one of the key policy I wanted to say to Ghanaians, they should listen, is that John Dramani Mama was bringing something called the big push. You see, that big push policy, it brings on board everything, education, health, all those things, because it was going to look at the technical and vocational education.
But before you continue, you see, you're mentioning all this. Is it that the NDC is unable to market its, because you see, the MPP has a way of getting into the hearts of Ghanaians. and they will bring, you see, NDC is developing the country. And I will say, I mean, you can disagree with me. I wouldn't hold you for that, you know. But I will say that the NDC as a political party has been the best thing that's happened to Ghana, because, you know, for us, all areas have been really tackled. But with the MPP, they come in and they say free SHS. Oh, all Ghanaians are behind. NHIS, all Ghanaians, you know. But it's unsustainable. It doesn't stay on. But the NDC, whereas the NDC brings in something. Is it the problem of marketing your products well? Because, you know, you can have a very good product, but if you're unable to market it well, I mean, that would be sad.
No, I agree. You see, you are now veering into an area of communication, which is agree with you perfectly. We, as a political party, we need to now change our communication strategy in terms of how we market our information to Ghanaians. For now, when we finish the primaries and we get the flag bearer, some of us are going to get involved and make sure that, look, our communication setup that we have within the party, we need to make sure that we have a niche communication across board, a niche communication where within the branches, the branch communication officers, we need to find out from them, what are we lacking in terms of resources to enable them to sell our product to Ghanaians? We need to go to the branches where the elections are won. You see, Carol, 2024 election is going to be a constituency and the branch-based election, not the people at the top. So all the big men at the top within the national, all the parliamentarians, we should all go to the constituency and the branches and make sure that whatever the branches and the constituencies are lacking in terms of winning the election, we go in and support them. The area of resources, we need to bring our resources together. Communications that are not working well, we need to define it and make sure that, look, people go out there with a message that way. Look, Carol, do you know very well that MPP as political party, ever since they took over from John Dramani Mahama, Nana Akufo-Addo within 6 years have spent close to 600 billion in debt addition. Ask them, what is the main major policy infrastructure that they've added into the economy? Zilch. Just one major infrastructure.
Well, they will tell you free SHS. Look, but I know that free SHS has only taken about 10 billion out of the whole.
Look,
the free SHS started. Then I don't even know what is becoming of the kids in second. When I was in secondary school, I did not attend a top-notch secondary school, but my school was good. I went my secondary school, and I mean, I never slept on the floor. I never saw food that was bad. You know, so I'm wondering.
Yes, let me do this. Then I'll add some few statistics. Then maybe my other colleague.
Yes, I'll go to. Well, I'll just give you 2 minutes so that I'll go 2 minutes.
Carol, yes, Carol. Do you know what fiber optic cable can do for economy? Fiber optic cable alone.
Educate us.
Yeah, fiber optic cable alone, it opens up the country in terms of a digital space. JDM added almost close to 900 kilometers fiber optic cable across the country. So the digitization that Timothy Baumia is doing, that they don't even know what to do, was all John Dramani Mahama's architecture. Meanwhile, they are not talking about it. Finally, let me add this here. You see, we need to find time and come and do something about infrastructure. It will be very good. I hope you guys invite us again.
We will do that.
Before I allow you to go to my colleague there, you see, Sweeter, let me tell you something. You know, this election, which was won by Nana Akufo-Addo, the difference that they used to win the election was between 500 to 600,000. And as a party, we need to look at all those statistics. And those 500 or 600 can come from Ashanti or Eastern region. So it is something as a political party, we need to look at the numbers. so that we don't just do campaign, then we leave what will bring us to power. It is very important. That is why MPP are packing the Electoral Commission, because they know what can let us win power. It's between 500, 600. That will give us the difference. So I want to urge to all the three contestant campaigning, look, we beg them. Ashanti region, Eastern region, and Greater Accra. These three regions is very key to the party. We have to go there big time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I'll just have a 2 minutes take on this policies from Mr. Mote, and then we go for a break. And when we come back, we continue with my show and NDC. Yes. So, Mr. Mote, so what will you tell somebody who asks you, oh, give me one policy? You know, I remember recently I had someone asked me that question, and I was like, I mean, they are countless. I can't count them. But you see, so just as I mentioned to Mr. Chairman Akwa, MPP has a way of bringing something to sway. It's like, you know, that kind. When we were kids, I don't know whether you recall it. They have that thing, Ajana one. They will put things on the floor and you throw it, you know, and you are thinking that you will win. But the more you throw it, the more you don't win, you know. So is that the trick of the MPP? What do they do to get Ghanaians to follow them to say, hey, this one particular thing, which they know that NDC has done more? I mean, well, what would you tell such people? Can you give us maybe 3 or 4 policies that NDC?
You know, and the problem with our country is that the MPP is very aware that the longer you keep Ghanaians uneducated, the better the MPP is. So that is why they don't build schools. The NDC is aware that the only way Ghana will become a better place is if all of us collectively are educated. And once that our collective good of the people are coming together, all of us as a nation will become better off. So the NDC believes in the empowerment of Ghanaians down, and then we all grow up together and become better off. The MPP believes that they should just be successful, just 3, 4 of them, few of them, and then they can then employ people down there. Canada, Japan, I employ 500 people. That is what the MPP believes in. And so they have to siphon the thing. And there is a saying in my language, in Ewe, that when you go to catch a fish with a child, you cut the first small fish and put it in the
say it in Ewe. Maybe we've got some Ewe brand there. You say it in English.
When you go to catch a fish with a child, put the small fish in his hand. He will be so focused on the small fish that when you are taking all the big fish and putting to your bag, the child will not even see anything, and he will just take all your fish and go. The MPP came to power. They didn't even have a policy on education, free education. By the way, the people of the MPP who say that the NDC had no plan of free education. 1992 Constitution, FQ, was supervised by the NDC.
Yes.
Compulsory universal basic education. That was NDC's work. And the NDC clearly said in 1992 that there is a plan for Ghana that will gradually get to. The problem with MPP is that the MPP doesn't seem to know anything.
Yes.
When John Dramani Mahama spoke to the World Bank and said, what is our issue as far as education is concerned? The World Bank sat down, came to Ghana, did a research and said, your issue with education is accessibility, not cost. Access. And aside that, and again, access to the disabled. So then the MDC said, okay, we are going to build 300 classrooms, blocks. That was the problem. And of course, World Bank supported. And then before the NDC left power, 123 schools have been built, large, and the rest of them at different levels. That is the NDC's plan to create opportunity for more people to go into classroom. Even under President Kufuor, when the issue of reviewing the secondary school education was on their table, the Anama Mensah report, said that build more schools, build more classrooms, employ more teachers, and let them teach the students, increase contact hours. But if you cannot do all of these things, increase the number of years into 4 so that the students will stay longer in the classroom. So they chose the cheaper option. They increased the number of years to 4. Then NDC said, no. Let's go to 3. After all, there are 16 countries that are writing WAEC in the West Africa. Why is it that Kwame Nkrumah's children should be using 4 years? Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, all of them are using 3 years. So then NDC said no. But then NDP came back to power again and said, hey, 4 years, the cheap option. No. So the NDP came and said, oh, free education. And so they put a small fish in our hands. And then since then, they go and take big loan and come and do Dokuno party and share them. Go and take bonds. And because there is small fish in your hand, free education, they continue to share. Look, and again, I'm very carefully moving away from this question of policy because the understanding of policy, the way we understand it in Ghana, means free. And that is the most stupid thing a country can even believe in. Look, in every country, the only way we can be successful is government focusing on its business, which is providing good road, provide electricity, provide good water, and provide a security in the system, and let the people work and earn money for themselves. Look, today in Ghana, there is nobody who wants to take their children to a Nima cluster of schools or a Ayalolo cluster of schools. Nobody wants their children to go to government schools at a basic level. To work hard to take their children to private schools. There are people paying 50,000 Ghana cedis in Egbawe, Montessori. There are people paying 100,000 Ghana cedis in American school. All of them are paying serious money. Just to say something, I attended Mamprobi Sempe 10 JSS. And my grades were, I don't want to say it on the show, distinction. It's not 222. But it was a government school, and I recall all the 3 years. I think I paid like $550 something. I basically did not pay. We had books, we had everything. So I'm so alarmed and I'm saddened to see our education go down. When you go to Ghana and you ask a child who is in year 6 or JSS what boiling is, when you listen to the English, how the person, you will be saddened. And yet, my question is, we say all these things, the NDC keeps on talking about this. My question is the Ghanaian people, Ghanaians not seeing this? Why what is so special that people see things now and they've been carved into silence? They can't speak. They are scared because even we who are in the diaspora, when you try to come on a program like this and you speak your mind, the people around you who know you might even start, and because of, is it the tribal, I think we should go for a break. When I leave you to maybe sip some water, we'll go for a break, and when we come back, we will read our messages. We've got a lot of messages coming in, and then we'll continue with the last 10 minutes. So let's just quickly take a break and then we'll continue.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir, the nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past.
I cannot live in harmony with criminals. That I won't lie. I won't lie. But decent, respectable people who will not ask you to do this and then stab you in the back. Those are traitors. I can't live with them. But decent people, I will live with them. Criminals, I can't.
I cannot live with criminals. I mean, nobody can say that he or she is a perfect human being. But if you have the heart to think about your people, if you've been called into the high office to lead your people, you've been given the opportunity to serve. I mean, people are not supposed to come and serve you. Of course, as a leader, you have people at your feet and at your beck and call. But do you sleep and ask yourself, what's the mandate that has been given unto me to do good unto my people? You know, and sometimes people tend to say that all politicians are the same, but I beg to differ. If you have the heart for the people, it's not every politician that is crooked. So we will hope that our leaders, they have ears and they will listen to us and do what they've been asked to do for us. We'll quickly take messages, and then we'll continue. We've got a few minutes to end the show today. It's been very interesting. I wish we have more time to have more discussion, but our time is getting closer and closer and we'll have to leave. Portia Mamiefu Abwedi says, beautiful lady. Thank you, Portia. And Emmanuel Atta, good works, comrades. Thank you, Emmanuel. Good evening. Watching from Hamburg, Patience Darko. Good evening, Madam Patience. Yeah, NDC France chapter. Excellent submission in the UK Ireland chairman, Mr. K. Aqua. Prince Kofi, UK in the building, of course, Mr. Kofi. Mavis Boateng, good evening, comrades. Watching on YouTube from Portugal. Thank you for the wonderful job you're doing for our great party. Thank you, Miss Boateng. Togbo Sai, please forgive me if I don't mention your name well. Yeah, thumbs up, comrades. Osei Superior, thank you, comrades, for working day and night for our great party. NDC will surely form the next government. Watching from Barcelona, Spain. And Kunte Nana, wow, amazing communicators. I love the fire in both gates. NDC is the only alternative to rescue Ghana from the Kufuor's mess. Watching from Warsaw, Poland. Doris, excellent submission, Doris. Thank you, Doris. Alexander Yao, Siam, watching live from UK, Lincoln. Wow, we've got so many UK people in the house. Brempom Bioseako, NPP has nothing good to offer Ghanaians again. They have overstayed their welcome. Yes, of course. We are hoping that. Well done, Caroline, from the diva, Eva. Brempom Bioseako, watching from WhatsApp. Okay, so I think I've taken Yeah, Madam Patty Nabudu. Yeah, watching from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm impressed with the submission of comments on the show. Thank you that you like the show. And if you just joined us, we are good evening. Yes, I think I've taken good evening, comrades. Very interesting debate today. If you just joined us, you are on my show and NDC Hour on Today Ghana and News TV. We are broadcasting live on Trace via satellite, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube, and on Today Ghana News TV. You can also follow us on Twitter and TikTok, and also on podcast on Anchor FM and Sakina Information Center, Tatale, in the northern region. And yes, so comrades, my resource persons, people are really enjoying you. I'll come back to you, Mr. Mote. Yeah, we were talking about the policies and
yes. So
yeah.
So just to make this very quick, for example, the health insurance. The people of Ghana claims that Kufuor introduced health insurance.
Yeah.
And the same people are saying that when Jerry Rawlings came, he came and introduced cash and carry.
Yeah.
Now ask yourself, if somebody introduced cash and carry, what does that mean? What was there before cash and carry was introduced?
Oh.
There was health insurance, and it was not working. It broke down badly, that the people who even have the money cannot get service. So Jerry Rawlings said, at least for the people who can pay for their service, let them be seen in the hospital. Now, if we don't go back and ask ourselves, how did our health insurance break down? And again, many Ghanaians have shown us a health insurance card from the old days. So it was there. And again, the policies have been there, including health. So I believe that the government needs to mind its business. The government needs to learn to build an economy that our people will be happy with. Our people can work and earn money for themselves. Now, when you are in a country where you cannot make money and pay for your own services, government dangles little money in front of you. Government tells you, say, oh, don't worry, I'm giving you healthcare free. I'm giving you this free. There is nothing free in this world, the people of Ghana. Dr. Mensah et Otabel told us that there is nothing free. And the government will give it to you with one hand in the name of free, and with the left hand, they will pick it back from you. So, to me, some of the policies that we introduced, all that is necessary is that let us build schools, let us build roads, let us build. We need to build our country. This attitude of going to borrow money and just consuming it. You go and borrow money and just do party and consume it all. That is a problem of our country, and only God can save us. Thank you.
Just quickly go back and I'll take final comments from both of you, but I'll go to Mr. Chairman Aqua. Maybe Chairman has something to say. We've got few minutes, just about a minute or two to leave, and I'll just take your final comments. I think we will do this again. We will have an extension of this program, this same topic, because in fact there is a lot. I know you have a lot that you really wanted to share with viewers and to educate them so that they'll make up their mind and also try and bring people on board to vote the NDC to make the next government. So Chairman Aqua, just few seconds. 1 minute. I will give you final comments and then I'll go to.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. You see, let me say this here. Every government builds based on infrastructure. The youth in the country don't want free things, freebies. So when you have a government, one of the good things a government does is that you build enough infrastructure to absorb the youth in terms of employment. This government hasn't built enough infrastructure to absorb the youth. You see, Carol, if you look at all the presidents and government that has passed, from Kwame Nkrumah, Ankara, Busia, Achampon, Akufu, Rawlings, all the way to JDM, all these presidents spend a colossal 120 billion in terms of the Ghana's debt, but they have things to show. Tema and other places. John Dramani Mama spent 50 something billion. He has things to show. Hospitals, schools, energy, all those places. They are infrastructures. It brings work for the youth. This government, Nana Akufo-Addo and MPP, they spent almost close to 500 billion. Ask them, what have they done with the debt that Ghanaians are going to pay? Sweetheart, they don't have anything to show. It is so sad. That is what hurts me. Even if NDC come, John Dramani Mama or whoever win the flag bearership this income, we have a lot of job to do. So we want to plead Ghanaians outside. If somebody tells you that NPP and NDC are the same, tell them it is not true. NPP have destroyed this economy. NPP have destroyed this country. So let's be angry and tell them that enough is enough. It is time for NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo to move on so that we make sure that we rebuild Ghana. Ghana belongs to the youth. So we want to beg Ghanaians, listeners, tell your friend, for your friend to tell your friend that it is time that NPP leave power. It is time that NDC take over and make sure that whatever mistakes that Nana Akufo-Addo and NPP has committed, we put things right. And inshallah, by God's grace, if we get the nod, I think
when we get the nod,
then we make sure that's when we get the nod, and we are going to get it, inshallah. We make sure that whatever mistakes that these people have done, the corrections. You see, John Dramani Mama said it's not the time to be building a lot of new infrastructures. You make sure all the pending infrastructures that are there, he will complete them because of our physical space problem with money system. So we would like to beg Ghanaians that it is time to vote for change. Let us vote and change this government. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chewanaka. Chairman Mote, your final take on everything that we've mentioned so far.
It's an exciting time to be a Ghanaian. It's an exciting time to be an NDC member.
Yeah.
These three gentlemen are in front of you, asking you for their vote. Listen to everybody carefully and make a good choice for the people of Ghana. The people of Ghana needs the people of the NDC to make a very smart and a very wise decision. Now, to the people of Ghana, the NDC have proven itself time and again under Jerry Rawlings, under President Atta Mills, under President Mahama. But the NDC is clearly cares about Ghana way more than this nation workers. Now, you have an opportunity. Then people of the NDC doesn't need to convince you. You are, President Kufuor said in 2000, this is the time for you to look at your own life. If you are happy, well, that is your decision. But if you are struggling and you know how you felt under John Mahama, look, this is the time. And finally, if you are a Christian and you genuinely believe in the second coming of Christ, but you don't believe in the second coming of JM, woe unto you. The Bible and God is looking at you. This is the time of Ghana.
You know when somebody asks you JDM, we already know him. What did he do? You know, well, what is he coming to do? He has nothing new to offer. And then they have no message, and then all that. And then I ask you, you know, just as you mentioned, to buttress what you said. You see, if in 2016 you were buying a bag of cement for 26 cedis, and today you are buying it between 90 and a little over 100 cedis. If today you have been carved not to speak, and that when you speak as a Ghanaian, a citizen who has the right of speech, the right to exercise your mandate, when in terms of communication, when you speak and somebody tells you you are a university graduate, so you are part of this people, this NDC, then you can understand the kind of mindset and the prejudice that has been over the years set for such people. You ask yourself, why are people still thinking that way? Now I'll ask you, If you look at your life in 2015 and 2016, and you look at your life today, and you say that the NDC is not a viable alternative, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's like somebody who has a disease, and doesn't want to speak about it. There's nothing the NDC can do to help you. But I hope that you change your mind. I hope that you see the good, you see the good in the NDC and come, because this is the most attractive group that is in Ghana now. Everybody is joining the train. Don't let it be too late. By the time you join, maybe we are far ahead. But bring people, galvanize the base, and let them know that NDC is forming the next government. Whether or not they pack the EC with everybody, you say the power lies in the hands of the people. And if the people of Ghana say that, well, we can see all the good that the NDC has done, but we still want, then there's nothing you can do to help them. But I know that the people of Ghana will not say that. I know that the people of Ghana will say that we want the NDC to come back into power. And then we want the good things that the JDM, the second coming of JDM will come and do, We hope all the aspirants, the best. We all have our favorites. My favorite might be JDM, but I respect all the aspirants. I think they are fantastic gentlemen. And I believe that as they go on their campaigns, everything is going to work out. So this all time will afford us for tonight. We wish that we'll continue this discussion. It's been so interesting. And I'm so grateful to you, Chairman Morte and Chairman Aqua. Thank you for responding so quickly, swiftly, and thank you for coming to explain to the people what they need to know. I hope we do this again sometime soon. So you have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Good night.